Hello, Torellis.
Hello.
Um, I watched your last video, and I would like some more information about your ancestry, the ancestry of the cosmos. You mentioned that there was originally three beings, and they're like anomalies.
Yes, there's three major type of beings. Anomalies, which just kind of appear. Then there's created beings that are upper level, as in they're creator beings. And then there's lower beings that are created, like regular life forms.
So, what what are you?
I am a creator being, an upper level that can create other beings out of nothing.
Now, you mentioned that God of the Earth and other galaxies and whatever is obviously not the highest being.
No.
Now, this God, can you tell me more about God?
Yes, God, in terms as you would see it, human terms, is still in a child form compared to the upper beings here, me and my father and his brothers. I made God a lot more recent than a lot of other beings.
Why don't we know any of these other beings?
Because God likes his secrets. God doesn't want people to know all his secrets. Imagine if you knew all God's secrets. Why would you really have to go to God for anything? Yeah, he'll help you out, but knowing all his secrets would be problematic for him.
Now, I'm confused. Is God a loving God or is God a vengeful God?
God is both.
Explain.
God, like myself, is the evil twin. Most of us upper beings have twins. We like to make twins. So God was an evil twin. But the people get it wrong. Evil is not actually the bad side. Good beings are on the bad side. The evil is actually in control of all existence, which is on the good side. The evil beings have more compassion and want to help people more than the good beings do. God is actually an evil being. Yes, we have our faults, like we like war and violence, but we actually take care of people a lot better than the good side does.
So, are all the gods creator gods?
No. Only the children, direct descendants from the original three, are creators. To be a creator being, you have to be made from, out of the being that made you. So my father made me out of him, so I'm a creator being. I made God out of me, so he's a creator being. I have other beings you make, like lower life forms. Humans are not actually made out of God. He used other material to make them.
Now, that's fascinating. Now, if you're here and God is here on Earth, are there other gods here in human form too?
Yes, quite a while back, in the beginning of the war between my father and my child, God, I used to be not God's puppet, my father's puppet. There was God wars. Most of gods were destroyed in the God wars. But God saved most of them by saving their souls by, bringing them down here into human forms.
So the God of the Earth is a creator god, but these other gods, were they creator gods?
No, they're just regular gods. They can't actually make life out of themselves, nothing.
So they didn't have the power to take the souls and place them on the earth like God did.
No, only creator beings can actually make a soul.
Wow, there's so much I want to get into with you, Torellis. So there's a lot of gods here on the earth right now.
Yes.
And would you be able to recognize any of them?
I can recognize most of them. I do have limitations because of this. Being trapped in a human body does have physicalities on you. But I can recognize most of them.
Now, these people that are here, that were gods, do they know they're gods?
A lot of them do not. They have a feeling that they don't belong, that there's something else, but they really don't know what.
So if somebody sent you a picture, would you be able to tell them if they were a god?
Most of the time, yes, I could.
Now, let's switch the subject just a little bit. I know there will be more videos and that you will get more into each of these topics.
Yes.
So is there anything you would like to say before we end this one, and then we can break down these topics and we can talk further on each one?
Well, as you know, this is our last lifetime here before the final war. We've already set things up so we will win, but heaven will not be the same as you know it now. 90% of the angels up in heaven are against God and on the wrong side. They will have to be removed.
So angels, I thought the angels were on our side though.
No, the angels are on the bad side. They do still help humans out, but they're against God 100%. Led by Michael. Michael is the one in charge up there. He is against God. He wants God, well, gone.
But a lot of us pray to Michael.
I do not recommend doing that. Michael will help you out to an extent, but Michael is still a bad person. He'll harm you just as much.
Now who do we pray to?
I recommend praying to any God that's willing to help. Right now, without God up there, any God is fine to pray to.
So I could pray to, like, Ganesh and...
Yes, I actually, myself, pray to some of the lower gods to help out, and they do help out a lot.
Like, who do you pray to?
Well, I pray to any of them that can actually help me.
Like Zeus and Perseus and...
Yeah.
Ares and...
It's the lower gods that are willing to help you the most.
And Buddha.
As long as you appreciate what they do and thank them thoroughly, they'll keep helping you.
Now, can we pray to Jesus?
Jesus is down here himself. So you praying to him wouldn't help you out at all.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned before that Jesus has been reincarnated several times into this earthly body.
Yes.
And his last incarnation was Mother Teresa.
Yes. Most people don't realize this. In Jesus' original form, when he was here, he did not die on the cross. But he did not go back to heaven either, like people believe. He stayed down here for over 500 years and had a lot more children. He had hundreds of children. So you could be a child of God. Not God, but Jesus.
Wow. So Jesus was not an immortal, but he was like close to being immortal since he lived a long, long life.
Yeah, Jesus was a higher being, but not immortal.
So are there immortals?
There are. Close to immortals, everything can die, but it'll on creator beings, it takes another creator being to do some damage.
So talking about immortals, it makes me think of, vampires.
No, they're not immortal. They live very long.
So there is vampires.
Yes, there's all kinds of beings. If you think you see it in the movie, it is real. All of those beings are real.
What about all the mystical creatures?
They're real. Unicorns, mermaids, they proved recently are real. All of them are real.
They're just in hiding.
Yes. Some of them are actually hiding in plain sight if you take a look. They don't look like us very well.
Now, I know the audience doesn't know this, but you like to go to Costco and sit in the food court. Why is that?
Yeah, Costco actually has a lot of aliens that love going there. If you actually go to Costco and look around, 99% of the beings there are not human.
Interesting. And now, sometimes I see beings that don't really, they look kind of like an animal.
Yeah.
Like I see people that kind of look like a crow or a bird, or people who have kind of like a body that looks like a turtle.
A lot of those are not human beings. Usually they're aliens. Sometimes they're just mystical beings.
And could they have been, could they have come from like evolution from the different animals?
A lot of times, not really evolution. Without God, evolution's a bit slow. But there are beings out there that evolved from animals. There are these hybrids over in Australia that are part human, part hyena. They look like humans, but they can transform into hyenas.
Now, fascinating. Now, the people that I'm seeing, all over the place, now that you've made me aware, that look like different animals and different things, and some of them look like fairies, and some of them kind of have the resemblance if you really look. Do they know what they are?
A lot of them do know, some of them do not know.
Because I talk to a lot of people, and I'm thinking that a lot of them have no clue where their genetics really came from.
Yeah, a lot of people's genetics came from other things. A lot of people just don't want to know what they came from. They block it out.
Now, I was once told that I have 7 different types of alien DNA in me.
Yeah.
So people can have a lot of different alien DNA in them.
Yes, there's very few 100% humans left. Most of the people nowadays are part human, part something else.
But if my DNA was tested, it would still be all in the human category, though.
Compared to humans before, it would be very different. The doctors just cover it up. Your DNA is not the same as it was.
Now I have, you know what? I would like to save that topic for later. I want to talk to you more about walk-ins, people who step into other people's bodies and take over, and alien implants, and women and sometimes men who are pregnant with alien babies. And there's so many things I want to talk to you more about, Torellis, but for now I'd like to end it, and we'll break all these things up. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. Until next time, Sunane de Sutri.